What is everybody? Welcome on over here. Truth and transparency. Come on in. I'm putting out a notification for the members so they get an alert. All right. Okay. Again, what is up, everybody? Today is Thursday all day, April 9th. All right, I'm going to take us to memory lane here. This episode is titled Idaho4 Kaden Young's Frat apartment room had bricks. Bricks. Say what? Yes. Kaden Young on spring break out in Washington. Wild story. You know, he went to the hospital. It more or less like saved his life. And then he would leave and then be at a friend's apartment. That was like a good hour and a half away from the hospital he was at. And then that's where he, had another issue. Very bizarre, very strange. But back in the day, I actually spoke with, when they were in jail, Emma Bailey. I talked with her and talked with Demetrius through a friend. He was in jail and they were picked up because it was alleged that Demetrius and Emma Bailey provided the substance that caused Caden's death. Okay. So, well, thank you. You look absolutely lush today, Lana. All right. Nothing like a midday courtesy fuck. Thank you. If you guys didn't watch last night, we learned all about the courtesies of cast draft. So, oh boy. So again, the murders on King 11/13, 2022, and then that spring break was, March of 2023. And let's see. I want to press play. All right, my two sources, independent sources, confirmed some things back in the day, which was that after Caden's death, people had to clear out his room at the fraternity house, and they refer to them as apartments, rooms that are within the house. And his apartment / room, it had a shit ton of cocaine in it. Okay. And so I went back through my messages to make sure that I was going to explain this perfectly, which was people were supposed to go on spring break and some people ended up not going. Okay. And if certain people were to go on this spring break trip, people would have drove there versus fly there. Okay. So again, let me make sure that you guys understand this. Kaden Young flew to Seattle to go for his spring break trip. Originally, or one of the options was that if certain people went and were going to go on this trip, then there wouldn't have been a flying incident, that nobody would have flew, people would have drove. And because I had a very good question that I asked, which was, why would Caden, if he has a ton of his own cocaine, right? Why would you ever want to buy cocaine from somebody that you did not know, right? With everything that this shit is laced with nowadays, and that was true back in 2022, 2023. Well, it makes a difference if you fly versus if you were to drive. So if you were to drive to, let's say, like the Seattle area, you would just have your shit with you, right? Well, if you're going to fly, that just can't happen. Okay. So the difference of flying and driving meant the difference of, if you want more party drugs, right, and you don't have any more, you need to get your party drugs from a supplier that would be wherever you're partying. Common sense. So now how Demetrius and Emma Bailey got tossed into the mix here, right, is there had to be some nexus here to them. Like, they were there. They actually helped Caden. They said that they saved his life, according to Emma Bailey. Like, we saved him. And because they basically saved him from that initial overdose, and when he went to the hospital, and then he was like released, and then went back to a different friend's apartment that was like over an hour away, and they then partied again. Okay. So, and I said, well, how does Emma Bailey and Demetrius, how are they pegged as the ones that gave him this product versus the kid whose ever apartment he was at? Okay. And that's what my two sources were having, like, the same type of, like, that's a really good question, Lana, right? Like, I was like, how does this friend, like, where did Caden get whatever he used after he left, the hospital? Like, what transpired? Where's the investigation there? Well, we don't know, because this case just fell off the face of the earth. Now, while this is happening, the Idaho State Police are interviewing people. Now, granted, this would have been after the arrest of Brian Kohlberger, right? But they were still conducting interviews. But you're going to tell me that they want to talk about, so think about this. They were trying to find out about drugs, Van Leuven, right? And how come we have not come across any interviews of anybody mentioning anything about drugs? What interview have you listened to that were like somebody's confessing or somebody's saying, okay, blah, blah, blah? The only time that we've ever talked about that is when I got my source to trust me and say, okay, here, I can put you on a voice recording, voice changer, and let's talk about it. Like, tons of questions here, right? Everything that he put out there has been 1000% true. What has he said that has not come true? Dave. That's the name we went with. I put that interview out there. There is nothing that he has said that has been proven like that's a lie. In fact, the big Snapchat shit, like, hella true. So I told you guys last night that while I was in conversation with my sources, I get a phone call or a text. I can't remember which one now. It's been like 3 years. And the feds were in Moscow, okay, threatening / raiding people's places and following people wherever they went out of Moscow. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Now, this is what should blow all of your minds, is just months ago, you wanted these kids to come forward and tell them everything that you guys know, and don't worry about anything to do with the drinking or the drugs or anything like that. Like, that's not what this is about. Okay? Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about that. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's just not true. And I have proof that it's not true, because I have proof that kids that were involved in the Greek life, okay, they were rated. Certain people were rated. Now, next up is the type of drugs that, and how much and how it was bought. That was my question about, like, why did Caden not take his own drugs to go party with spring break? Because I originally thought that he drove. I then found out he flew, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. But here, I'm over here like, well, then my next question is if Demetrius and Emma Bailey are like the hookup, right, in Moscow, and that's like, you trust that person, trust those people, whatever. So when you're out in spring break and they're around, right, you would trust them too, because it's going to be the same product, right? I'm throwing all this out as hypothetical. Hypothetically, if, let's just say it's true, and Emma and Demetrius are able to hook you up and, get you, you buy in large quantities, because then you're the guy that everybody on campus then gets it from like your frat or other frats. Okay. Makes sense, right? Like, I don't have all these little frat guys coming to, a Demetrius. A Demetrius is just dealing with one or two of them, and then that's it. And then you can deal with them. Your little frats can deal with them, because, hey, we're going to have a party. Can we get some money? Because we're going to buy kegs, but really we're not. We're buying fucking drugs, So I told my sources to get themselves on witness lists immediately, because then all of this shit is witness intimidation. Back then, I said, you need to go and you need to get yourself on a witness list. You need to explain, like, what the hell's going on. You need to go talk to whoever you trust. If you trust the prosecution, you go to them. If you trust the defense, you go to them. But you need to explain what's going on and how this stemmed from the murders, if you want to be safe. That was the advice I gave. I never asked them, like, hey, so tell me everything you went and did, because I don't pry into people's lives like that. You ask me, you tell me what's going on. And this was after I had that, I did that interview with Dave. And so that was my advice. My advice was to go and tell who you trust. If you trust the defense, you go to them. If you trust the prosecution, you go to them. I said, or you can go to both of them. I also told them anything that they would tell the prosecution would have to turn over to the defense. I said, if you just go to the defense, they don't ever have to reveal that to the prosecution, unless they would ever end up using it. Then that's when it would be disclosed. But that's the luxury of being a defense attorney / a defendant. The only luxury is that whatever you're out there trying to do to, prove your case, not that you have that burden, but times are changing. Let's say you were to go get somebody to test something out and it doesn't go the way that you thought that it would, you don't have to reveal that. So, but that was my advice. My advice was to, you need to tell who you trust. If you trust the state, if you trust the defense, And then I said, if you don't trust anybody, you tell both of them. Put them both on notice. But to come out and say that you want all these kids to just tell you all this shit, right? And don't worry, like that's not what they're interested in. And then literally just months later, whether it's a couple months, whether it's 6 months, you're then the FBI is on campus raiding places. That's a fact. This isn't like what I'm telling you happened. So I also asked, because I was curious, with fraternity housing and even sorority housing, how does that work in terms of who owns the house that I can go and serve whatever on? A search warrant, whatever. Like, who do I provide that to? I provide that to the president of the university. Who owns that property? Who owns that house? Who owns then that apartment that's within the house? How does that all work? And why didn't we hear about any of this? Go Google University of Idaho FBI raiding fraternities. See if anything pops up. Anybody know that? No. Again, let me see if I can find. Okay.
Is Emma Bailey involved with the Moscow, Idaho case in any way? There is a lot of speculation. A lot of people are curious about Emma Bailey. And I've been digging into Kaden Young, the individual that she allegedly gave fatal drugs to, her and a partner named Demetrius Robinson. He is like a mid-30 range man that Emma Bailey has been affiliated with. Demetrius Robinson, I've made some videos about him doing like modeling, doing a modeling service and using Emma Bailey as a model, or Emma Bailey wants to be a model. But anyway, let's talk about Kaden Young. Star quarterback in high school from probably the Boise area, then went to the University of Idaho and was a journalist. A lot of people are wondering in their speculation that, the journalist Kaden Young was talking about the Moscow, Idaho case, and Emma Bailey and Demetrius Robinson took them out in a plot. Have you guys heard the same thing? Because I have. I read the Reddit threads. So I'm curious to know about this Kaden Young, and I found his Instagram, and I want to share that with all of you. So check this out. This is the Instagram profile of Kaden Young. This is the 22-year-old who died from the drugs that Emma Bailey allegedly gave to him. 22 years old. This is his profile. We'll go through his profile here to see who this guy was. University of Idaho. Here's a guy. University.
God, it looks just like Xana, doesn't it?
University of Idaho. Here's a guy kissing him. Kaden Young. This is the 22-year-old who died from fatal drugs.
It just seems like everybody had masks.
Posting a picture. I don't know what this is. A journalist. He does some partying too. So we got all these photos, and then that's, another way, someone who allegedly gave drugs or sold drugs.
Okay. Right here.
Who allegedly gave drugs or sold
Jordan, right there.
drugs.
See this Jordan? That's who Kaylee was going to be living with in Dallas or in Texas, wherever they were going in Texas. Was it Dallas?
To this individual, Kaden Young, or
Ella.
Did he get drugs? Another way, somebody give it to him. This is his
there you go. The Argonaut right there.
Following list. This is for documentary purposes, educational purposes only. Look at these names. Does any of these names look familiar to you? It's 922 people he's following. We're going to give you the list just in case Instagram takes down his profile. A lot of times in these type of cases where people are centered around tragedies, the social media companies remove.
The more important one would be like the 673 followers. So I already went through this back in the day, but we're doing it just for the purposes of coming back around to it. Boise chicks. Remember what the police would do? The police would create fake accounts, like Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, and make them of like hot chicks and set up these buys and shit like that. So because he just sits there and scrolls all of this. The more important ones are who's following him. Thursday lines. Curious about that. Right there. Emma Bailey. So don't you think in this type of a case, you would have gotten a search warrant to see any type of communications using the Instagram direct messages as well as like Snapchat and shit? If you're going to go over here and you literally like arrested 2 people, but then you let them go because oh wait, it's not them. You also have his phone, so like everything would be in his phone. And so I just scratch my head because I'm kind of just like, was Ann Taylor interested in any of this? Well, that's just not what I was told. So from the sources that I talked to, that's just not what I was told. It was they went and got more shit. So if that was what I was told, I would be saying that, but that's just not what I was told. Because what my sources told me, I think it's only fair. When I was talking to Emma Bailey, I said, this is what I was told. So you guys have a right to know that if he went and got other stuff, right? Yeah. So, and somehow, some way, they got released. So I wonder if you were to put a FOIA in on anything and everything to do with Caden Young, but saying Aiden so fucking much. Caden Young, if we would get something back that said this is an active, open investigation, you know, or would they be like, oh yeah, here you go, this is what you can have. But it's like going back and checking this out with all the new names and where we are with revealing stuff. It's worth a peek to take a look back at this. Again, this is the 922 following. What's more important, in my opinion, is who's following him. Oh, wait. He was a junior. Josie's on a vacation for, look right there, Josie. So we have Josie. Josie. Remember, Josie got caught having to like say, oh wait, I remember I walked and I went and got my phone outside. Remember that? That slipped her mind. Let's see. Okay, now he's gonna hopefully switch to the 673, right? Now, did you do that first? He only went through that. Snow strippers. Snow strippers. It's very interesting. That Jordan name. Okay. So Josie. Okay. Then we're going to pull up. Now you would think, oh wow, somebody was it wasn't it was an overdose, but then we're going to go after these people that were. Yet, where is there any discovery on Emma Bailey, nor Demetrius were interviewed in this whole entire thing, but yet they're talking about drugs. What? Hold on. Hey, come again? Yeah. So let's go. Oh, see more. We're going to pull up. Good. I still keep asking myself, why was everybody blurred out in the corner club cameras? How is that, Okay. Almost there. There we go. Because they were all under 21, right? Probably. Oh, boy. Okay. So if we go in order, we want to see what these fuckers were doing in March. Remind ourselves. Gary Tolson. Okay, when's this? Yeah, but when did you go and do it? Okay, so February 6th, 2022. Let's go a little further. Okay. All right, when was this one? Same day. All right, so here's a chick that was interviewed. And this girl stated that she was at the lodge party with Xana and Ethan on the night prior to the homicide, and they discussed going to Applebee's the following day. Blank stated nothing was out of the ordinary throughout the evening. Blank said that she knew everyone in the Twitch video and Kaylee and Maddie. Blank named blank and stated he was a blank fraternity member providing sober rides. Blank named a second person in the video as blank blank, said she heard blank and blank drove Kaylee and Maddie home. Blank said both blank and blank called into the tip hotline to advise law enforcement. You see this right here? We need to know who this is. Blank stated that she was primary friends with Xana and her friend group and was not close with the other two. During follow-up questions, Blank explained that the lodge parties always end at 1, and she last spoke to Xana between 12:45 and 1 that morning. According to Blank, the lodge party was tame, and not very many people attended due to the short duration of planning it. This is like, when was this planned? Well, during the interview, a second individual could be heard in the background, and she identified herself as blank blank. Blank stated she also attended the lodge party and was with blank. Both blank and blank stated there was nothing out of the ordinary throughout the evening or night. When asked questions regarding observing anything unusual, both blank and blank were not directly aware of anything. Okay. For fuck's sake. Okay. On November 19th, they went to addresses between 342 through 1830 Victoria Drive. We reviewed video at blank. However, there was no video content on November 12th or November 13th, but all the other days had video. Can somebody look on Google Maps and see if Victoria Drive could get you to the West Palouse where Eric Gower had his car searched or taken pictures of, rather. Addresses between this and this on Fletcher Place. Blank had what appeared to be multiple cameras. However, after speaking with the homeowner, we learned that they were non-functioning cameras used to deter crime. Woo! Address between this and this. Now, Sunnyside Avenue, that's back there. That's definitely back there. Videos reviewed at blank and blank, but no video content of relevance. This is back there. Addresses between this and this. Videos reviewed at this with no video content of relevance. And it's like, how do you know what's relevant, man? The fuck are you talking about? Versus just this statement, which is saying that there was no video on November 12th or 13th. There's just none. Here, there's just nothing that's relevant. Well, let us decide if it's relevant or not. Who's deciding that? You know, it just. Ugh. Remember, they're trying to find a car that's left up out of there, and they're trying to spot it after the 1-1-1-2 camera, and they can't find anything. Now, at approximately 1800 hours, I left a voicemail for Trooper Keeley in reference to a tip who wanted to provide information regarding the homicide investigation. On November 20th, Andy Huddle was in the Moore case, another idiot. And I contacted Blank by telephone to set up an interview. The call was recorded. Blank eventually answered and agreed to call back later. Okay. The tip was regarding a light-colored four-door sedan he had an interaction with on November 11th, 2022. This person described the driver of the sedan as being a white male wearing a long beanie that covered his hair. Blank said the unknown male confronted him in an unprofessional manner about throwing his trash into a dumpster that belonged to the neighboring apartment complex. Blank said the unknown male stated he was the blank blank for the blank. For full details of the phone interview, refer to the audio recording. You guys, who this be? Who this be? This should be like Alarm Central. Okay, we need supplemental report 79. A light-colored sedan. Before there was ever talks about a sedan, an Elantra. So, what, like, how does this have anything to do with the murders? This person called the tip and to say, hey, I have some information on the murders and I want to tell you about a car that I had contact with. And this is what the fucking thought, like, let me just call up this. This is what we should put our time towards. And the tip was regarding a light colored 4-door sedan he had an interaction with on November 11th, 2022. Blank described the driver of the sedan as being a white male wearing a long beanie that covered his hair. How the fuck would that have anything to do with the murders? Wouldn't you be asking the question, okay, so you called this in. What do you think that this has to do with exactly? Oh, I don't know. I thought the guy was just weird, so maybe you want to look into him. But you don't even know who the fuck he is. But he is a light-colored sedan and drives and has a beanie on. You guys, this is way before. I mean, this is on the 11th, 20th of November. I mean, this is just wild. Fuck shit. Wild. Look at this ass. I accidentally deleted shit that I'm not supposed to do. I discovered that each photo I deleted also deleted the associated serial number. Oh my God. You're taught that in fucking first day you go. I just can't get over this. All right, so pay attention. On November 19th, write this down. That tip 580, so 580, November 19th. Okay, so you know that they're at least up to tip 580 by November 19th. Because I'm still trying to sort out how I want to go at these tips. $26,000. Okay, how come nobody's ever brought this up then? With that guest list for the party, you were allowed, so there was a ratio of 2 guests allowed for every Sigma Chi member. So did you have to list your guests, or did you just give them like a wristband or some shit? Stupid. All right, let's talk about the drugs. Okay. Let's talk about it. Adderall. Okay. Sorry. Adderall. And then it just jumps to this shit. Look at this. On January 5th. Look at this. January 5th. Look at this. November 20th. See that? Look at this. Report 82. You did not write up the report on 11/20. You wrote the report on February 6th. And it's about something that you did on November 20th. Then watch where the next time somebody came in to type up a report, they are then given the supplemental 83. Like that's going to be your number for your report. And look at how does this happen? The approval date is January 10th, 2023. How is the approval date for this February 6th, 2023? When did you start typing this up and when did you actually finish it? Like, what? How is that in front of this? These are just questions I have. Now, see. Back over here to what Leslie Lehman was doing on November 18th. See this? Blank provided a Dropbox link to the video surveillance footage he preserved during the evening hours of November 12th to November 13th. Who? I preserved the video from the Dropbox and placed the media on a disk. The disk and the email will be given to the Moscow Police Department as an attachment to the supplement. So you couldn't give this disk over until like when? Like, does that mean that none of these people could have seen any of this stuff? Or it was like, no, we had a working copy, but then I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. Blank allowed me to retrieve the video by granting me access to her cloud account. I preserved the video onto my state-issued cell phone. As for Leslie Lehman's state-issued cell phone, as for everything that came off of Leslie Lehman's state-issued cell phone, a lot of shit will be on there. This is them walking to the grub truck. So, look at this. They knew that this existed on November 19th, and they let Hoodie Guy be fucking literally attacked. Speaking of Hoodie Guy, John Jack Showalter, if they would have just put that out, because he would have said, listen, we walked down from that freaking bar. But no, we're not going to put this out, okay? We're not going to put this out. You know. I don't know who's saying that either. That was our good friend Pavarotti there. I had to fire back an email. All right, Hugh. November 15th. Hugh and Schwecky. What'd you guys do? Well, we conducted an interview with blank at the Moscow Police Department. Who? On November 15th, who? He left his apartment approximately 8 p.m. on November 12th with a female friend named Blank. They went to Mingles, a bar in Moscow, and ended up meeting another female friend there. And the three of them left for the corner club between approximately midnight and 1. At the corner club, he really noticed a girl who couldn't stand, was touching everyone. And he stated, I thought she was on something. So I was like, this chick is just your classic like college girl that took a pill and didn't know what it was or something, you know. This female was later identified as Madison Mogan. What? Blank, and another male left the corner club at approximately closing time and went to the grub truck, a food truck located in Moscow, Idaho. After they got the grub truck, he noticed Mogan arrive with another female, who was later identified as Kaylee. Mogan appeared extremely intoxicated to the point that she was falling against the grub truck. He noticed a male standing near Mogan and Kaylee and believed he was there with them. The male was later identified as Jack John Showalter. He had a conversation with Blank at the grub truck. Blank said he was there just to make sure the girls got home safe. Blank asked how he felt about being recorded and then pointed out the live stream recording on the grub truck. They continued talking about the inconsequential topics like cars, the weather, how their night was going. It seemed like Blank knew a group of fraternity guys who were waiting at the grub truck. Mogan and Gonzalez were whispering to each other, looking at Blank and giggling. He thought Blank was in the friends zone. When describing the dynamic between the three, he felt like Blank was annoyed with the girls, saying he kept shaking his head at them, like taking deep breaths and sighing. A blue car, possibly a Honda, eventually pulled up near the grub truck and saw Maddie and Kaylee blue. Interesting. And that they left in it. He was unaware of Blank's location or actions until he reviewed the recorded live stream footage later, but had initially thought he left with them in the car. A 33-year-old. Fabulous. Was that Joe? I don't know. For fuck's sake. I would love to know why October 22nd, 2022 was of interest. You know? So fucking important. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. This was to get the new search warrant. Right there. On November 19th at approximately 2:20, I searched Dylan's bedroom. Dylan's bedroom is the Blank located within the residence during the time of the quadruple murder. Blank reported she witnessed the murder suspect, later identified as Brian C. Kohlberger. Why are you writing this up? Like, you did this on the 19th of November, and you wrote this up. Fucking when, man? The 9th of January? That is not by the book. At all. Okay. At close proximity while she was sitting in this doorway. Okay. ISP forensic scientist had identified a bloody shoe print outside of Blank's bedroom believed to belong to Kohlberger. Now, this would be a complete clash. Who believed this? Nobody believed this. You know what? I'm printing page 267 because that's not what they believed at all. They believed that it was the trampling of the police. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Print that. That is not what they believed. That's a lie. Upon entering Dylan's room, I photographed the bedroom with an emphasis upon her wall hangings. While conducting a search of her bedroom, the following items were noted and or seized. See ISP Detective Talbot's evidence forms for seized items. What report is this? Okay, 88. You want to go and get ISP Talbot copies. The bedroom had a low amount of alcohol compared to other first and second level bedrooms within the residence. Artwork of blank with an emphasis upon the blank were pinned. Yeah. A letter from blank sorority. Blank later confirmed to be blank was in a clear plastic shoebox within the bedroom closet. Blank was located on the vanity within the bedroom. Blank was located. A sorority blank was located in a black backpack, which was under the bed. I concluded the bedroom search at approximately 3:50. 2:20, 3:50. An hour and 30 minutes. And that needed item 01, photograph of blank bedroom. Wait, hold on. Evidence tag. 230000090. Item 1. These fucking liars. Unbelievable. Captain Kempf. Right there. Jen's bestie. Jen Drake. Okay. Back to November 18th. Okay, so tip 40 here. Had sent to the Muscle Police Department requesting detectives investigate the whereabouts of a subject, most likely to be blank, on November 12th and November 13th, due to his lengthy behavior issues and his to be in jail. To be what? To be homeless? He had no. Blank did not know anything about the homicides. Blank said he did not know any of the victims. Blank had not heard anything around town and was only familiar with the case based on what has been released on the news. Blank confirmed he lived on blank near the area where the homicides occurred. Blank said he was at the blank church during the evening hours of November 12th until 10. Following activity night at the church, blank from the church returned blank to his apartment where he remained until going to the blank center on November 13th at noon. Blank was alone in his apartment. Blank works on computers and watches movies. That's what he does while he's at his apartment. He works on computers and watches movies. Blank said he does not spend time around the Greek community. Look at, they were fucking all in on this Greek life. Oh boy. Blank worked Tuesdays through Fridays from 9:30 until close. The fuck? Blank has a history degree from the University of Idaho, but has not been involved with the university recently. What? Okay. Supplemental 95. We need that. Somebody called this tip in. And tip 40. So nobody called in any tips about drugs. Nobody was like, hey, listen, that house is a party house. Here you go. Where is that? Any tips about that? Any tips about drugs? You know? Leslie, what the fuck were you doing with Jacob Schwecki? Wait, what? Blank was identified by Moscow Police Department officers as a suspect in a blank 2022 incident in which he verbally threatened female University of Idaho students on a sidewalk. This is what they took from Pullman. Oh, hell yeah. This is important. Oh, my God. 281. Okay. This is important because this right here, this tip, was this given from Pullman Police? Huh. Okay. The blank said he was at work at blank until 11:30. Blank met with his girlfriend blank at John's Alley bar. Blank was unsure of times in the early morning hours after leaving the bar, but confirmed a Moscow Police Department officer gave blank and him a ride. This is it. Here it is. 96. 96. This is the one. This is the one. Holy shit. Oh my God. I didn't realize that he came from a tip. And I swear if it in Pullman, they were like, hey, these are the pervs you need to look at. These are people that gave like sorority chicks a problem. This is the one we need. Here it is, daddy. Supplemental 96. This is the daddy. Okay, this is what we need. This is the Eric Gower Connect. Okay. What do you mean a police officer came and picked you up and dropped you off? Where the fuck did you go? Oh, is that the one that you went to Indian Hills? Okay. So blank was unsure of times in the early morning hours. Oh, were they? Who wrote this report? Is it Leslie Lehman? Fucking A, man. This Leslie Lehman and Mike Van Leuven are like this, and they equally suck. Like when I say suck, they're so bad at their job. Leslie, it would be you that wrote this shitty ass report. Oh, fucking Leslie. So a cop just picks this dude up. But confirmed a Moscow Police Department officer gave blank and him a ride to blank's apartment due to her amount of intoxication. Blank walked home from blank's apartment and remained in his apartment, waking at 1 or 2 the next day. Blank said blank was in the apartment with him and was still there sleeping when blank left in the afternoon hours on November 13th. Blank said he learned of the homicides from the news and from others in the area. Blank did not know the victims and did not spend time with the college students. Blank removed his sweatshirt, showing me his arms and neck. There were no marks on blank's arms, neck, or face. I don't give a fuck about that. I need to know what cop took you home, honey. That's all we're about to find out. Why would a cop be taking him home? So cops just pick people up over there? What cop? Where does this dude live? Come on. I'm going over the Jack Showalter, one of the interviews tonight, and then again tomorrow night. So we'll be listening to it, and then we'll be deep diving. I want Jack John Showalter to join me on the panel. So I'm calling him and asking him if he wants to talk about how he was almost framed for a murder he didn't commit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Leslie Lehman. Do you understand that this was a blank was identified by Moscow Police Department officers as a suspect in a blank 2022 incident in which he verbally threatened female University of Idaho students on a sidewalk. Did you not ask him any questions about that? Look at where's his IDs from Washington? This or his girlfriend? Suspect 1. Wait. Yeah, see, it was the Pullman people. Why are you saying the Moscow Police Department officers were saying I don't think that that's what happened there. Are you sure you're not saying Moscow Police Department instead of Pullman, so you guys aren't talking about how closely you guys are dealing with Pullman? What Moscow Police Department officer was like, hey, I was going back and looking through our stuff, and this is somebody that we dealt with. Excuse me? 26, huh? Did you interview this girlfriend? I think you all did, right? What's this DNA shit? For fuck's sake, Leslie. We have got time for that. Where's this girlfriend at? Come on, didn't you follow up with this girl? So this person dropped out of the fraternities, whoever this is. Blank said he was hanging out on the couch when Blank said he was going to go check on Blank and Blank at their apartment. Blank said Blank's girlfriend, Blank, went with him to the King Street apartment. Blank lived, but Blank did not know why Blank was going to check on Blank and was not told who asked Blank to go to the apartment. Shortly after Blank left, the police activity in the area began. Blank last saw Xana approximately 3 days prior at Blank's apartment, confirming he left for Blank on the Wednesday prior to the murders. Blank saw Chapin the same day as Blank considers himself acquaintance of Maddie. Blank does nothing in social media, but I'm a picture trip price like with Chapin. What? Blank was in the house, was in the 112 King Out Street apartment. Approximately 7th of November. Blank has been in several of the rooms within the apartment. Blank said that there are fist fights in his apartment complex and in the parking lot. The fuck? Blank has witnessed 2 of the fights. Blank was involved in one in which an unknown male walked into his apartment and punched him in the face. What? Who is this? What is going on? We're gonna play. We got 2 new interviews we have to play anyways. I'm on the prowl for the chick, the girlfriend of the guy that we just supplemental 96. It's the MPD officer drops him home. Fucking A. He just punched me right in the face. Other people with the male broke up the fight. Blank said the fight was in September. Blank has never seen the unknown male or his friends in the area again. These fucking hoodlums. Blank said he kept the door of his apartment locked due to the amount of drunk people around the area. These fucking drunks. Blank said he knew most of the people that lived in the area of 1122 King Street and cannot think of anyone who would commit the murders. Blank knew the back sliding door of 1122 King Street is always left unlocked. And many people are aware of that. Oh my God. Blank is friends with Blank and Blank, the surviving roommates, and usually hung out with them in a group of friends. Blank volunteered DNA samples, and I secured them. When did you do this interview? December 7th. Leslie Lehman. We're going to get this one. What number is this shithole? She didn't write this up until when? Can I imagine? When did you write this shit, girl? February 6th. Everything looks like it just got turned in on February 6th or some shit like that. Supplemental 98. This looks like it'll be straight fire. So you had no idea who just walked right up to you and punched you in the face. That sounds like a stay out of my territory. The next time, I'm a Brian Drake your ass. You hear me? Okay. All right, let's take a look. I'm just going to go a couple more, see if she put this in. Otherwise, I got to start typing shit up. Oh, look at this. Idaho State Police says F you. I'm just kidding. That's not what it stands for. Oh, shit. What Leslie Lehman, of all people, would write the F you. Minnesota. Yeah. Because this seemed like it would be something that would have something to do with this. And Jesus. Oh, God, here it is. On December 27th, it should be noted that I received a phone call from Officer Jeremy Rott in Minnesota. And he just wanted to let me know that this guy was concerned about the rant and Blank proximity to Moscow, Idaho on November 12th and 13th. Blank emailed me a copy of Blank's writing from November of 2022. The body of the text was mostly incoherent. Officer said that the totality of the writing was over 100 pages and seemed to be written as dated entries like a diary. I was able to contact blank by phone. The phone interview was audio recorded. Blank knew I was calling regarding the documents he sent to. Yep, blank confirmed. He sends documents to many government entities, attorneys, and law enforcement agencies. Blank seemed to have concerns or delusions. Concerns or delusions, they're the same thing. Regarding electronic devices, blank was able to maintain the conversation. Thanks. And his speech was clear and understandable. Thanks, Leslie. Blank said he delivered documents to the ISP Coeur d'Alene office in October of 2022. No further action was taken regarding blank. Excuse me? We didn't even get to November. The recording of the interview with this man and the emails and attachments in exchange with this officer have been saved to a disk. Have at it. Thanks, Les. Fucking idiot. Oh. Several citizens contacted during your case. This is what you need to. Were all these recorded? This is a running report. It's supplemental report 100. This is to see if they hid any, what do you call it? Cameras. Leslie Lehman is notorious for hiding cameras. Okay, so let's see here. I called the blank and spoke with blank, who agreed to put a request out to these businesses. Okay, thanks. The request was made via a newsletter. Is that what they're going to try to say that they put out? Was the newsletter? Was that that was actually like a police Shut the fuck up. This is crazy. On November 19th, I spoke via telephone with blank with she said she had already spoken to Moscow regarding the homicides and said her center did not have a record of any of the homicide victims visiting her staff. What? Okay. Regarding reports of stalkers. What the fuck? Okay, no stalkers. On November 19th, here we go. Kristen, no, and I canvassed the residential area. Yeah, I bet you did, girl. Homeowners who had cameras facing the roadway were met with and confirmed they had reviewed footage. What do you mean? So they had reviewed the footage. God damn you. They know what they're doing and could not locate any vehicles due to the cameras not activating. Thank you, Leslie. So this car was just able to, but did you have the car coming at all? Ever? Nothing activated on November 12th or 13th. I just find this hard to believe. Why do these people have fucking cameras then? I left blank a business card as I could see his camera system from the front walkway of his house. Blank forwarded me an email confirming his review of the footage and said there were no vehicles located during the time frame requested. Amazing. And we're just supposed to trust all these fucking people. Oh, you checked on. Thank you so much. Did you check? Okay. And you didn't see anything? Sounds good to me. Thanks, hon. This is the same woman that can't chronologically fill out a neighborhood canvassing of cameras and didn't realize that Eldora Gatchel just totally fucking had two vehicles there. Mm-hmm. Right on, Leslie. I believe a goddamn thing that you would ever do. But here, she actually just realizes that she doesn't know how to look at cameras. So she's like, hey, can you guys just do it for me? You guys that are citizens, please. Pathetic. Why wouldn't you preserve all of this shit? You have no idea. How do you know that nobody back there is I'm just going to tell them no. And I'm actually involved, so fucking idiots. I just left a business card. During my canvass, I met blank. Blank was in his driveway on November 13th, just chilling. He was in his driveway between 4 and 5, working on a vehicle. Blank recalled seeing a larger SUV southbound at 4. Blank called me on December 16, 2022 and left a message reiterating witnessing this SUV. What are you doing? I told you about this SUV. Get out here. Emails exchanged with blank and the messages left by blank were placed on a disk. There we go, Leslie. Yeah, we want that CD, baby. We want those calls. We want those emails. Thanks, Les. Give me those CDs right there. The report and all additional supplements now finalized completes any investigation I conducted as of February 10th regarding this case. Okay, this report and all additional supplements now finalized. Okay, I want everything that Leslie Lehman has done. Everything that fucking broad has touched. Everything. If she sneezed on it, I want it. It's her fucking badge number. Anything that she touched. Just so you guys know, Leslie Lehman is not a fan of mine. She has conversations with citizens in Idaho about me quite often. So according to Leslie, and I'm just over here asking her to do her goddamn job. Like, fuck. Okay. Now, woo, Leslie, do your job. We're going to pull up an interview. And I just find it hard to believe that nobody said, I know why nobody said his name, but I cannot believe they would be just concerned with, we're concerned with Adderall. Hey, did you have a prescription for Adderall? No. How'd you get it? I don't know. Okay. Gonna send Amber a little email. Here you guys go. Give a shout out to Connor.
To Sigma Chi from the day that we got our bids.
So for Rush is when you met him?
Rush, yeah. Essentially like after Rush.
And how would you characterize him? I mean, what did you think of him when you met him?
Just like a very goofy.
Okay, this guy Mason really doesn't have much to say.
Big guy. I don't know. That's like the best I can describe him, I guess. Super nice.
I mean, super nice. Was that like a super nice? Everybody is super nice. Like Dylan is not the only one that says super nice. Was that like a catch tagline being used by like Abercrombie back then? Like, remember when you walk into Abercrombie and they always had like, you know, hey, how's it going? Hey. Like you have to say, hey, how's it going to people?
Okay.
Was he abrasive at all, or negative with people at all? Or?
No, never.
Did you ever see him have any confrontations with anyone?
We got in trouble one time. That was for something like he was just being a drunk idiot. But that was he like took a picture with someone's mom. It was like slightly inappropriate, and everyone got upset about it. But that was about it, really. That was like it was.
Ethan took a picture of somebody's mom and sent it to people and was inappropriate with it. Ethan liked them Kroogs.
It was meant to be completely harmless, so it just came off the wrong way.
So did you know his family members?
I knew before, but I would say I was slightly like.
Oh yeah, number 9.
So by association with him. Yeah.
Did you ever go anywhere or do anything with Ethan?
Gym a couple times. Partying. That's about it.
Did you ever sit down and have any serious conversations with Ethan?
We did like as a pledge class, but never like specifically me and him. No.
Do you remember if you ever talked about his past or growing up or any of that?
Not really. I really didn't know much about his past. I knew he was from seen some of his pictures of him like boating and stuff when he was home. I might, because I believe they have a. So.
Did he have any peculiar personal habits?
He liked to watch Ice Age like on repeat. I guess that's like about the most peculiar thing about the guy.
He liked to watch Ice Age on repeat. What?
Did he have any unique hobbies or talents?
I don't really know if he did. I wouldn't say none that stuck out, I guess.
This guy, why would he just say, like, I don't know him? I don't know him. Like, nobody, we don't know each other like that. We're just drinking buddies. Okay? We, like, see girls and we're like, yeah, they're hot. Yeah, they're not. What do you mean?
Anything significant in his past? Had he been, like, in a serious car wreck, or did he ever have any medical thing he overcame? Or
if he did, he didn't talk about it.
Okay. Did he ever talk about, like, ex-girlfriends, like, when he was in high school?
No. I honestly didn't take him for the girlfriend type till Zana. But... or he's the type to have a girlfriend.
Thank you.
How would you characterize his relationships with other people?
I mean, he was just extremely kind, like the nicest person I'll ever meet. And he definitely always brightened my mood, that's for sure. Never a dull moment with the guy.
Have you ever gotten in trouble with the police?
I don't think so.
Personal habits? Did he sleep in? Did he get up early?
Slept in, for sure.
Where did he spend most of his time?
Before Xana, he would just be around the house with the boys, and then after Xana, he would always be hanging out with her. I think he spent like every single night with her, pretty much.
Over here at 1122?
Yeah.
Had you been to his off-campus apartment?
No, I had not this semester. Actually, I didn't. I only hung out with him maybe twice in passing this semester, really. Last semester.
I've only passed him twice this semester. Why is this boy being interviewed? Why? Because Van Leeuwen was like, hey, I'll take the Sigma Chi brothers. I'm Sigma Chi here. I'll just take them. I gotcha.
Dinner parties, and that's about it, really.
Any significant events that occurred, not necessarily to Ethan, but to anybody, either within the house or just in this general area? Any break-ins, any prowlings, any odd people hanging around?
I don't think so. I didn't really hear about anything. So I'd say no.
You notice any recent changes in Ethan's behavior or attitude?
Again, I really didn't hang out with him this semester. So the time that I did see him, he seemed just like his old stuff. But last time I saw him before it happened was probably 3-4 weeks.
Did you go over to the 1122 house and hang out and party over there sometimes?
More last year. I think I went over once at the beginning of this year.
Did you ever observe any problems over there? Any conflicts? Anybody getting thrown out? Any fights?
No, not really. I mean, it's pretty good. So it's like the one place where Dells and Sigma guys would actually hang out with each other.
If you had to name Ethan's 3 best friends, who would you say they were?
Xana. And I guess it would probably be different now, but like last semester, we had Sigma guy. They were really, really good friends.
What's your last name?
Oh, I mean, I can look. I actually don't know his last name. He didn't come back to school this semester. But he's down in Boise.
Is it?
Yes, Josh. Thank you.
All right, who's this kid that didn't come back to Sigma Chi? Does anybody know out there? Does anybody know who a Sigma Chi kid was that did not come back this coming year? Because Van Leeuwen knows already this name. So And if he's with the times, like, this guy's an idiot. So this name had been said.
After give me a couple more names. Just because Zana don't count.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just good friends.
That doesn't know shit.
Shut up. Yeah, everybody's called shit, but those would probably be the next two in line if the first two don't count.
Well, so I'm just going to read it. Inquire as to any instance where the victim ever discussed or displayed fear, concern, or discomfort about a particular person or situation.
I honestly don't. I can't think of any, really.
They put Van Leeuwen on victimology because I don't think that he was, but he's just, these are victimology questions. He was part of the victimology team. Hey, you did such a great job in the fucking Brian Drake case. Let's send you in to do more interviews.
Was there anybody that Ethan didn't get along with or that he avoided?
Didn't get along with everyone. As far as like I said, I didn't really hang out with him that much this semester. So.
Did anybody, any other girl besides Xana express a romantic interest into him?
Not really that I noticed, you know. I mean, not more than like giving the eyes to him at a party or something, you know.
To your knowledge, did he ever cheat on Xana?
No, not to my knowledge.
Did she ever cheat on him?
Not to my knowledge, no. I know she stayed here during the summer. I saw her around a lot. So I didn't work it. I actually didn't even know if they're still dating over the summer.
Anything peculiar in the way Ethan interacted with strangers or people he met for the first time?
No. Like, very outgoing, so. Definitely had a way of making people laugh. And...
Do you know if he had a job?
I don't think he did.
Do you know if he had a job in the summertime?
I remember him saying they were like waiters, maybe? But I can't remember. I believe it was or I don't know where he was staying. But I remember him saying something like it was. Maybe that's what it was, yeah.
Any issues with money? Did he ever need money or not have money or the other way around? Did he ever buy something that was very expensive that was unusual?
No. But I think... So. Was what I got from him. I never asked him. Just kind of observed.
Did he spend any time away from campus with any other groups of people? Take flying lessons, and was he a member of the club off campus?
I don't think he was in any clubs, no. The furthest he would get was probably Xana's house.
Okay. Did he have any classes at WSU or all his classes here?
No, as far as I know. I think they were all last year they were here, for sure.
Anything unusual about his cell phone use? Did he use any apps that were odd? Or?
I wouldn't know. I didn't look at his phone or no.
Okay. Do you play sports?
Not up here, no. I mean, you go play basketball with some of the boys down at the rec, but that's about it.
Where do you eat?
Just cooked in the apartment, or he would like go get food from McDonald's or something.
He doesn't even know. He's just saying stuff. Ethan always is at Taco Bell and he's talking about McDonald's. I mean, this is embarrassing. I would just say, like, I have no idea. I do not know. I don't know any of this shit. I have no idea why I'm being questioned. I do not know him like that.
Did he have a car?
I just shared a car, yeah.
What was it?
That's a good question. Black car. I honestly couldn't tell you what kind of... I think it was a Jeep. It was a nice car, though. I remember being in a few.
He just says the black car. So he sees him often driving the black car.
times.
which is the Explorer.
Push start. That's about the best description I can give.
That's the most significant thing you said.
Okay, so these last questions are a little odd. When did you first hear
Me and my roommates were sitting here, and they're AKLs, and so they have friends in the house right next to it. And they were texting saying, "Oh, there's like an unconscious person. Police are here." And then we started hearing somebody died, and so I called my buddy Johnson, the guy's like my best friend from there. And
John?
No, it's terrible. Bad last names.
This guy's like my best friend, and I don't even know his last name. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is wild.
Okay.
I called him and I was like, "Hey, do you know anything's going on?" He just said like Ethan died. And then
what?
I was like, "Hey, do you know anything's going on?" He just said like Ethan died. And then
when you finally found out that all 4 of them had been murdered, had been stabbed to death, what was your
murder? That they've been stabbed to death? We didn't know that at first, sir. Look at this guy. How does he have a fucking job? That is not how you interview people. You ask them what they learned. Where'd you hear this from? You try to find out things that people know that only the killer would know, Van Leuven, right? I mean, this is 101. This man fucking pisses me off. He is so bad.
When you finally found out that all 4 of them had been murdered, had been stabbed to death, what was your thought about how that had happened and who might have wanted to have done that to them?
Maybe you would want to find out when he found that out, huh?
I don't know, I had zero thought of who it could be. Like, it just did not make sense at all to me.
When you think about it now, do you think that this came from within the Greek community or the college community, or do you think this was something from the outside?
I really don't know. I mean, my first assumption would be like, and I didn't know the girls at all really, like maybe an ex-boyfriend, one of them. But, so maybe in the Greek community, I guess. I just really don't know. All I know is that I would put my life on it that Ethan was not targeted. Like, that kid was the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
This guy is like, I would put my life on it that Ethan was not the target.
Is there anything that you would like us to know about Ethan that I haven't already asked?
No, not really, I guess. He liked to party, I guess, but who doesn't?
Any issues over there with drugs?
Not as far as I know. But I remember, I mean, they definitely liked to party. Like, I had seen them multiple times.
Okay.
Very, very intoxicated. On what, I don't know. But definitely big partiers. And that's speaking of both Stan and Ethan. Not sure about the other girls, though.
Why doesn't Van Leuven separate there and say, okay, you say they're really intoxicated. Are you, like, when you say like that they're partying, are you just talking about drinking? Because I just asked you about drugs. And then you're over here saying that you don't know what they were on. Was it more than just drinking then? Like, and then if you're going to ask that question, then say, do you say we're not going to ask where these kids are getting the drugs from? I mean, I don't understand. I don't get it. And no, I'm not going to ask one of the guys that's in the Sigma Chi.
So you've probably seen the release of the vehicle description that we're interested in.
The white long truck.
Yeah, do you know anybody who drives a car like that?
I don't.
You seen a car like that driving around up here at all?
None that comes to memory.
Nobody in that area has seen a four-door sedan before that's white.
you ever seen anyone with a knife that looks like this?
No. Kiba.
No.
Never have.
Distinctive leather wrapped handles.
I have not. No.
And you said you didn't attend the Sigma Chi party that was here the night before?
No, it was my girlfriend's roommate's 21st. So I was ever at the clubs in Pullman with him. Her and her family.
Did you come back here for the night?
Yeah, I did.
What time did you get back? How are you gonna ask that? How'd you get there? How'd you get home? None of those questions matter. The fuck out of here, Van Leuven.
Anything else we haven't talked about?
No. Can't really think of anything.
Fool. What a fool.
Who are your roommates? How do you spell?
His last name.
Spell that for me.
Look, maybe he has it on his Snapchat.
Is it on that composite?
Yeah, probably. Oh, this is an old one. This is 2020. We both rushed together last year.
Okay.
So,
He doesn't know the names of these people?
You had a tendency to leave the oven on.
yeah. I left it on all last night so he could take a pissed. That's not his profile. It just says
How do you pronounce it?
Oh, for hell's sakes. Who are your roommates? I don't know. Because there's a composite of like in the houses, they have all the pictures of all the guys and it says like class of whatever. And so he's like, oh, let me go look at that. He's like, oh, that's a 2020 picture. So like we wouldn't be in that one. We pledged in, whatever year. But this dude knows nobody's last names. Call me crazy, but whatever. A lot of guys call each other by their last names. Like, it just blows my mind. You're going to be living, your roommate, you do not know your roommate's last name. You got to be fucking kidding me. Like, how dense is this era of college kids? It just blows my mind. You live with somebody and you don't know what their last name is. Now, I'm not saying all the people that you have 50 plus, whatever, but the person that you live with, you don't know their last name. That's pathetic. This kid reminds me of like a Barbie flake.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like flaky Barbie right here.
How do I spell your last name?
I was trying to say.
Oh, and then here he is just waltzing in. Like, where are you guys doing these interviews?
And my actual first name, like the way it's actually spelled, is like said.
So these interviews are just happening at Sigma Chi. So remember when JLR was like, dude, there's like 8 cars lined up over there at Sigma Chi. It was just for us to do interviews with these people. Please.
Okay.
That's not, you should know that.
I know. I bet.
And they say athletes are coddled. The fuck out of here.
I just have it like my photos. I say I guess I'm used to it.
What's
my bad, dog?
What's your other roommate's name?
Loon.
This is crazy.
Okay.
Any other roommates?
No, just those 2.
Okay. Do you know? Hey, while you're here,
Yeah.
did you know any of the people at the 1122 house?
I knew Ethan and Xana. Not well though.
Like well enough that you know background information about Ethan? Like maybe talk about where he grew up and
Not really.
problems with people or anything?
Mm-mm.
Xana,
I knew less than did, and I like barely spoke to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just said, yeah, I knew Ethan and Xana. And then he's like, and then this is Van Leeuwen just accepting this. He just says that he knows him. Not that he just knows Ethan. He's also said Xana. Oh, so you can answer some background questions? Not like, hey, I want to have a talk with you. Then the kid goes, oh, no, I don't really know him that well at all. Like, Mike. Good old Mike Van Leeuwen. What a fucking idiot. Next up. My bad, dog. Yeah, I don't know them at all. Oh, you want to talk? Yeah, I've never met them. Whoops. Idiots. Van Lucy. Van Leeuwen, get you loose. I wonder if Van Leeuwen's a Grey Goose drinker. Van Leeuwen had to drop out of law school, if you guys did not know. Yeah, Van Leeuwen did not. He's like, mm-mm. Okay. Now Wesley. Let's see what Wesley has to say.
First time that you met Ethan?
It would have been after Rush, so I think that was like late summer, and just everyone got brought to the house, and everyone went over the lights, and I don't really remember like introducing myself so much. I don't remember like exactly how we kind of met.
What was your impression of him when you first met?
When we first met, maybe a little bit more cocky than he kind of became less cocky after a while, and maybe at first I didn't think he was as cool, but then after a while he seemed more chill.
What do you mean when you say you thought he was cocky?
I don't know, just almost to me he just gave off this like a little bit more like a badass attitude, but like I don't really remember. He was always just like a little bit more like crazy when I first met him, like partier, and then once he like met Santa and got a girlfriend and everything, he was kind of more chill. That's
Wait, what? How does being a cocky person have anything to do about these kids? They need to learn their vocabulary words because I just don't understand.
So it doesn't sound like you were really friends with him much.
Not like I never really hung out with him too much. Kind of just knew him and be in the same apartment and drank together and whatnot. But
so, did you not like him because you thought he was cocky?
I wouldn't say.
Wait, Van Leeuwen says, "Did you not like him because you thought he was cocky?" Now Van Leeuwen thinks he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go at this kid." I am dead. The kid's like, I never said I didn't like him. Listen to this. I would have been like, you know what? I'm done. Are you kidding me?
Together and whatnot, but
so did you not like him because you thought he was cocky?
I wouldn't say I didn't like him. I just didn't get along with him as well at first.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just didn't get along with him. What? I didn't even hear
What
him.
sorts of things would he say or do that made you not really get along with him? Do you remember some incidents?
I wouldn't say I didn't get. I wouldn't say we didn't get along. It's just we weren't.
We just didn't vibe.
Not really sure how to answer that. Like, I don't know. I'm just not super close to him, so I don't really.
Well, people are drawn to different people depending on their personalities, and everybody's different. And,
right.
Your group of friends generally are people that are sort of like you, and so I'm just trying to figure out what about him, rubbed you the wrong way.
I guess he was a little loud at first, and there was just a couple like little incidents where people got a little mad at him over it, and then over time he kind of chilled out and never caused any problems.
What were the incidents where people got mad at him?
It was an incident where it was parents' weekend, and I guess this is like so. one of.
Is this the picture with the mom?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that.
Don't know a ton about it, but there's just someone, I don't know who took the picture or anything. There's just him like propped up with his leg, like, and someone's mom was laying on the couch and he was just kind of looked a little dirty, I guess.
I thought they're not supposed to be taking pictures while they're in the fraternity home. Or was that picture taken out? That's like a rule of theirs. Like, isn't that like a rule? Like, or is it like you could take pictures, but you can't post them on social media or something? They have a rule. There's like no uploading photos that are taken from inside this house. And if you do, you get in trouble, right? I believe that's. What parents' weekend? Was it this parents' weekend? Was it last parents' weekend?
So how'd that go? Did somebody say something right away, or did they like pull him aside and talk to him after the fact, or who confronted him?
I think it was a different member that like someone showed all the pictures, and then one guy saw it, and then he showed that guy's whose like mom it was, and then I think he probably confronted him, and he was really angry about that. I remember, never like physically angry, but he was like yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been the and he's our pretty sure it's her. Yeah, that would have been his mom. This was quite a long time ago. This is pretty soon after I first met him, I think.
So did that affect your opinion of him, or?
For a little bit, everyone was kind of a little angry at him for it, but after a while, everyone kind of forgot about it. It wasn't a big deal.
Okay, you said there was a couple of incidents. Besides that one, what was the other one?
I said, I don't think there's any other incidents. It's the only one I can really think of.
He said plural.
Okay, other than that, can you think of anybody within the house that had any confrontation with Ethan?
I really can't. Ethan is a pretty chill guy. He's well liked by pretty much everyone, other than that one time. After that, there was really no issues or anything. So yeah, I can't really think of anyone that had any sort of problems with him.
So one of the purposes of this interview is to try to think about, and so I'm asking you questions as we go through. So each of us in our lives, we have different circles of people around us, right? So we have our immediate family, and then we have maybe friends at school, and then maybe we have people at church, or maybe we have a job and we have people we work with at the job, or even customers we come into contact with. Right. And so, you know, the people that are over here may not know the people that are over here, because they're separate pockets of people, separate buckets of people that we have in our lives. Right. So what I'm looking for are what you know about each of those buckets of people, and maybe a bucket of people we don't even know about, because he had a job, or he had a hobby, or he had something he went to that nobody else knows about but you. Does that make sense? And you never know if you're going to be the person that knows that.
Gotcha.
I know you don't think you are.
I don't think I am.
But let's just go through the drill here. About his family. Did you know his parents?
I did not. No, I never really saw him up until recently.
Did he ever talk about growing up?
Not necessarily growing up. You talk about maybe stuff you did back home, like water skiing or something like that. You know.
What did he talk about water skiing?
Seriously, Van Leuven?
How fun it is, or maybe him and they would try and get us to come up to his family.
How about, did he ever hang out with people that was outside of the Greek life? How about that? If you asked that question not one time to anybody, and the answer is no, you haven't. And you haven't asked, well, did he ever say who he gets any of his partying drugs from? I mean, come on. God damn.
So he talked about going up there. Or...
He talked about working up there?
I more so heard from him about working up there, but yeah, they both would talk about. Yeah.
Was that a good experience? Was that something they were going to try to do again in the future? Or?
If I remember, it sounded like they would talk about it in a positive way, I'd say.
So you knew, yeah. Obviously, and you knew later?
Yeah.
How was she?
Wait, you're asking him about Macy? What?
So school, what were his attitudes, his behavior about school?
Well, he didn't get the best grades first couple semesters, so he wasn't. Because I would say he wasn't the best, like, hardest worker in school or anything. But he seemed to be doing a lot better this semester. Not exactly sure how his grades were, but he did seem to be doing better, like, as far as, like, working harder.
And as that was because he was trying to work his way to get back in the house, do you think?
Yeah. He spent most of his time at the house. He was almost never at his apartment.
Had you ever gone to his apartment?
I had never, no.
No. Did he ever talk about having problems with anybody over there?
No, he never said how he had any problems. He kind of said the place looked a little sketchy, I remember one time. But never
Where is this place?
said any problems or anything.
Where did he spend his time mostly?
Mostly spent his time at the house that Tana and all them lived at. Spent a lot of time there. Spent a lot of time, and I don't know if you guys have interviewed or like interrogated. He spent a lot of time.
These are easy interviews.
He spent a lot of time in the apartment. Like, I'd walk in there sometimes, and he'd be usually playing Xbox.
Down 10.
I think that's 10. Yeah. One of the one mans.
Did you see him going to class on campus?
I never personally saw him because I never would have had classes with him.
Okay.
Because I'm a different degree than him and all that.
So what's your major? What's his major?
What's his? His is, I'm not sure actually. Probably business. Right?
He was not a business major. These people are such fucking idiots. God, they call themselves brothers. They don't know shit about each other. They don't know shit about each other. They don't know shit about each other. Damn, this does not look good for the fraternities of the world.
Wear weird clothes or
not really. I guess he was he ate a lot of fast food. Like,
there you go.
I don't really know him. No, I can't think of anything.
How about money? Do you ever have issues with money?
I knew that him and
it's interesting that
so
we can
I really he never had a lot of money. I was on money in college, so he didn't have a ton of spending money, but he would have money for food and stuff.
So money wasn't an issue.
No.
But he didn't flaunt that he had money either. Didn't really buy expensive things or whatever.
No, he didn't.
So how did he spend his time? Just either playing games or over at 1122? Did he have any other activities where he would leave the area? Any classes over in Pullman or any hobbies or jobs that took him off campus?
Not that I know of. I don't think he played any intramurals. I'm not sure if he played maybe some intramurals, some sports like basketball. It's mostly video games.
What kind of video games?
He played Fortnite, I think Overwatch, played a ton of Rocket League. Maybe Call of Duty. Those are the I know of.
Did he play online with other people?
Yeah.
Do you know if he played with people that were out of the house, that were aware, maybe childhood friends or anything back home?
I'm not sure about that.
How about his cell phone? Did he excessively use his cell phone or didn't really use it much, or how would you characterize that?
I would say he used his phone quite a bit.
Did he use, to your knowledge, did he use any apps that were unusual?
Nothing I know of.
If you guys were communicating with each other using your phones, how would you do that?
Snapchat.
Did you notice any changes in his behavior recently? Changes in attitude?
I really didn't. No. I really noticed anything different about him.
Any life changes?
I don't think so.
Name his 3 best friends.
I would say probably Alexis, and then I would say probably maybe, and then he had a lot of friends.
I understand Peter had a prior relationship with Xana. Is that right?
Him and Xana were pretty good friends.
Is that
There might have been something there. I don't know.
Well, there was something there. I'm just wondering if you ever saw any animosity between the two of them over that.
Oh, between no, they would usually all hang out together and as a big friend group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know this is a weird question. I know you already answered this no, but I'm going to ask it again. Was there any instance where Ethan ever discussed or displayed fear, concern, or discomfort about a particular person or situation?
No, I really can't think of any.
Had he ever been in a physical altercation with anybody?
Never at U of I at least.
Is there anybody that he particularly didn't like that he would want to be around?
I'm not really sure. He was usually pretty chill with whatever Xana was kind of doing. So I don't think he usually tried to be pretty nice to everyone. Never tried to start anything.
Did any other girls have a romantic interest in him that you know of?
Ethan has the personality of an athlete. These kids have the personality of cliques. Okay? Country club cliquey kids. You understand? Ethan's personality wasn't that. He had the personality of like an athlete, I don't know.
Was there some other girl that wanted to date him?
That wanted to date him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's any.
To your knowledge, was he ever unfaithful with Xana?
Seemed to be pretty faithful.
What about her with him? Did she ever cheat on him?
I don't think so.
Are these kids hoes or what, family man?
What about other guys that were interested in Xana? Ex-boyfriends, anything like that?
I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know about any of her ex-boyfriends. I don't know if she had any in college or not. As long as I knew her, she never had a boyfriend until Ethan.
Interesting.
And you said earlier that you knew Xana. Did you know her from up here?
No, I knew her from college. I actually found out that she was from and all that from
After the fact.
Yeah, after the fact.
Okay, fair enough. Did he have any off-campus or activities? Did he have any hobbies? Was there a particular store that he liked to go to? Was there anything that he did that took him?
Did you guys go to the mall?
Drives to go get fast food or
what?
Drives to go get fast food or.
Is there someplace off campus besides 1122 that you knew that he hung out or went to frequently?
Like another off-campus house, maybe.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Someplace where.
Not very often. Maybe one of the other houses on King Street or
Whites or whatever.
Whites, yeah.
Okay.
The Whites.
Any other house off campus in particular that you knew that he went to? Or just in general, you assumed that he went to them?
I don't remember whose house it was, but it's right up the road from. So it would have been 15 Road. So it would have been somewhere up here around, and I think it was one of Xana's friends' houses.
Do you remember her name?
It could have been a girl named House. I don't remember if it was.
This motherfucker doesn't even know his own roommates.
Yeah, I think I live there.
And you're pointing down here to where.
I have no idea why this would need to be redacted.
So, the Whites. So it would have been farther up, I think.
Farther up.
Yeah.
Just right off. or back in?
Taylor.
Pretty much, yeah, just right off of it. It wasn't down another street. It was on this street.
It's on Taylor. So that'd be the Whites. The treehouse.
Had you ever gone out and hung out at 1122?
Yeah.
Over here? Have you gone and hung out at the 1122 house?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Okay, he just said quite a bit. So why would he go there if he wasn't cool with Ethan? Like, you need to get into that shit, Van Leeuwen.
How many times in the last year would you say that you've been there?
Well, they had it this semester probably 10 times maybe.
And were there other guys that were there?
Yeah.
What other guys were there?
It was usually a lot of guys in our house, and then I didn't know a ton of the other guys because they were from other houses. Like a lot of them were delts. A lot of delts hung out there.
Anybody besides delts? Any other fraternity?
It was mostly basically just delts.
Did you know them?
I knew of them.
So here's the adult roster. If you can just kind of go down that roster and just spit names at me of people that you knew that you'd seen there.
Here's the Delt roster. Just spit names at me. Okay. You know what? I'm way better at faces. Can you just give me some faces, please? Yep, saw him there, him there, him there, him there.
I think I knew I saw him a couple times.
What's the last name?
Delts. Wow. Coming after the Delts. How big is this roster? He has said one name, maybe two.
Has anyone? There was one Delt member that was, I don't remember his name, but he got into like a little altercation with one of our members, and I'd see him there sometimes, and nothing ever turned physical or anything.
You remember who that is?
I think it might have been.
Is he not on the roster?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, sorry. I'm way better with faces. If you could just give me the faces. So weird.
Like, I don't see his name.
Like, I just do not see his name. Like, he must not be a Delt.
Yeah, I guess I can't remember.
What do you look like?
He had curly blonde hair. He was probably about 5'9". Some pretty bulky dude.
Okay.
But there was never incidents where anything actually happened or anything that serious or anything. So
at the 1122 house, there were no fights you observed or anyone getting kicked out for behavior issues or anything?
Never when I went there. It was usually everyone kept their chill. Nothing ever happened or a situation like that.
Would you normally go over there on the weekends, during the week? Like, what type of parties would they have? Would they have like cuff me, fuck me parties? We see them with like these twisty ties on. Like, why did people go there? Like, it was like, so did you know? And like, how did you get invited to these parties? That would be a really important question, Van Leeuwen. How are you going over to a house? Do you know these females? It's their house. It's not Ethan's house. Okay. So what kind of parties are these?
I really went down.
Otherwise, it's just so stupid. Waste of fucking time.
Did any of the girls over there ever complain about guys being followed or guys hassling them or unwanted advances or anything like that?
Yeah, because this kid's gonna protect them. Look at
I
him.
never heard anything about that. No.
Look at this kid. This is ridiculous.
We keep hearing this stalking allegation getting thrown around. Do you know anything about the girls?
Van Leuven, you guys started the stalking allegation. Who started the stalking allegation? Do you understand that we've listened to how many interviews and nobody, not a single person, has been like, dude, I talked to Kaylee and talked to Maddie all the time, and this is what they told us. Negative. Not a single person have we rolled across an interview where that's been the case.
Complaining of being stalked?
I've heard about that too. I really have no clue about anything about them getting stalked.
I've heard about that too. What have you heard? I mean, what have you heard? Isn't that's the follow-up, Van Leuven? Do you not know how to have a conversation? Like, put aside your detective ass cap, okay? Do you know how to converse with somebody? When someone tells you something, if you're truly listening, I've heard that too. Oh, what have you heard? And then the person would say, oh, what have you heard? You know, like, oh, yeah, that's what I heard. Oh, what did you hear? When did you hear that? Do you remember who told you that? I'm telling you, Van Leuven, you're a doorknob.
When you heard that this had happened?
I would have been in my room, which is I found out I don't know what time, probably 12 or 1. One of my roommates told me about it, and
It's 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. on Sunday?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
And what did you understand? What did you understand had happened?
So to begin, I left. So I woke up that morning, probably about 10 or something, and I was with a girl, and so we went and got food. And so I came back. I park at,
What girl were you with?
She goes to WSU.
Look at this. He hasn't even asked about the day. He was never going to ask him about his whereabouts during the time of the crime, what he was up to. I mean, if it wouldn't be for this man right here, Wesley, coming on over and just regurgitate, like, I'm just going to spill my guts here, I guess. I don't know. But let me tell you. I was with a girl, Van Leuven, sprung. What girl? that a boy. Idiot.
Okay. What's her name?
She's from Coleman.
Had she spent the night?
Yeah.
In my room.
Okay. Did she go to the party with you? The Sigma Chi party?
Yeah, she came over and we hung out at the lodge for a little bit, party, and then we went to bed.
Did you see Ethan and Xana at the party?
I really didn't see him in the lodge. I saw him kind of like before the party at probably 7 or 8, and they were just hanging out in, I think.
None of that's possible. That's not possible because Ethan was at the freaking event with his sister. So I saw them around like 6 or 7. That's not possible. Sorry.
In one of the rooms.
Right? Or you just say, that should really, like, wait, you saw him when? 6 or 7? Here at Sigma Chi? Who was he with? Yeah, Leland's an idiot.
That was at 7 or 8 p.m.?
It was a while ago, but yeah, something like that. It was before the party.
It was before the party. When?
You think they were in an apartment?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It was one at the bottom.
The bottom, not the top. Okay. Let him tell his story, okay? I'm
But you
interested.
didn't see him at the party.
I did not.
Do you remember anything unusual happening at the party?
Oh my God, he was going to
Any
tell us a
altercations or
story
the
about.
Party went,
people not getting along?
party went super smooth as far as I remember.
Do you? Oh my God, Van Leuven, fuck you, dude. Why can't he tell us his story about how he found out? Oh, because we cannot talk about that, can we? God, I hope this kid is.
Do you remember if Maddie or Kaylee came to the party?
Oh fuck.
Did you know Maddie or Kaylee?
Oh my God.
Not really. I knew of Maddie because she was always at
1122.
1122.
She lived there, okay?
I think I talked to her maybe like one time. But
It's her house.
What about Kaylee?
never met her.
You never met her.
I don't think so.
Okay, what about the other two girls?
I knew them too, but never really.
No problems that you can think of with anybody there? No ex-boyfriends? No ever overhear heated conversation with any of the girls on the phone maybe, or one of them being angry?
Yeah, because that's exactly we need to find out when he found out about this. But you, Van Leuven Poo, are not giving him the opportunity to talk about this, and I can see it. I can see her deflecting away from it because he wants to say something, and you're not allowing him.
About something?
Nothing I know of. The only thing I've heard of is just rumors about Kaylee's boyfriend or whatever. I've never heard anything personally.
Did you know Katie's boyfriend?
No,
Rumors.
I didn't know.
Okay. So when you heard this had happened, what did you think?
You suck.
I was in pretty big shock.
I mean, when you
Wait a second. He heard rumors about Kaylee's boyfriend. What are those rumors? Like, what rumors have you heard? What have you heard? What are you doing? This guy is opening up every door, and you're just sticking your dick in it. Okay, like, shut up. Oh my God. What is Idaho State Police? No wonder they pay $40 an hour and not 54. Okay, because you have to pay people like this, and you should not pay them more than $40 an hour. Unbelievable. What rumors?
understood that the four of them had been murdered with a knife, what did you think?
I was still in shock, and I was just a little bit scared.
Okay.
A little bit scared.
Did you have any ideas of who might have done this? No. You ever seen any problems with homeless people or crazy people who are over there?
Well, I parked my truck in front of the Whites on the side of the road, and I actually got a subwoofer stolen out of my truck. So that kind of...
That's where I got your name, because I asked about any unusual incidents or thefts, and somebody said that you had a speaker stolen out of your truck.
So
was it from inside your truck?
Yeah, I leave my truck unlocked though. So I mean, I leave it unlocked because my keys don't really work very well. So.
Sorry. Okay, honey. Get some new keys.
Oh, someone just ripped it out of there, took my sub, took my amp.
Wesley, let me tell you something. You were totally targeted by one of your fraternity brothers. It was somebody that you definitely knew because they knew that. Were there any other cars that got broken into or just yours? Okay. They knew that your keys sucked and that you didn't lock your car, and they knew that about your subwoofer. Okay. Because nobody else's car was broken into. Yeah. Like, come on, bro. The brains on these people. Your brothers did that to you. Somebody that's a friend that knew that you had that going on.
And this was probably a couple months ago or something.
That you were broken into?
You have no idea who did that either?
I just figured it was some crackhead or something. I don't know.
Crime of opportunity. Okay.
I just figured it was some crackhead. Wait a second. Van Leuven, you don't think to ask? Wait a second. There's crackheads around here? That question was, wait, you thought it was a crackhead? Oh, do you see crackheads just rolling around the area? A crackhead. Where can I find those crackheads at? Here's Van Leuven. Yep. Let's move on. Just like when Eric Gower told them some guy was in the bathroom fucking sharpening a fillet of fish knife. Van Leuven's like, man, I really got to take a leak, bro. Anything else? Nothing further. Van Leuven, man, dude. You know what? I take it back. I really want you to continue your position with the Idaho State Police, because I get an ab workout every time I get to cover your shit. It's an ab workout for me. So I have to actually say thank you. Thank you.
You've probably seen this vehicle we've been asking about. Have you seen?
I just figured it was a crackhead. I think he has ADD too. I think Van Leuven needs a Xanax.
Do you know anybody who has a vehicle like this?
Is it the white Elantra?
Yeah. Do you know anybody? Boy, girl, anybody's parents, car you've seen? It's got really distinctive in the fact that both the headlights and the taillights extend back into the body or forward into the body in the case of the taillights. And it's got a really distinct...
Wait a second. Hold on, Van Leuven. Dude, oh my God. I love when he feels like he's in control, because then he's just a little loosey with his mouth. Listen to this. Van Leuven's going to talk about the vehicle.
Do you know anybody? Boy, girl, anybody's parents, car you've seen? It's distinctive in the fact that both the headlights and the taillights extend back into the body or forward into the body in the case of the taillights. And it's got a really distinct body line up under the windows that comes up at an angle and sticks out pretty far.
I don't know anyone personally that has this car.
Okay.
Where was the car parked at? You guys?
So I can't talk about that.
And then I can't help you. Oh my God. I would say, what are you talking about?
I'm going to show you a knife. It's a pretty unique looking knife in the way it's colored and the way it's made. If I can get the screen to open. Do you own a knife like this, or do you know anybody who does own a knife like this?
No.
Is there anything else that you'd like us to know that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, I wanted to tell you how I found out about the homicide, but you just want to not talk about that, obviously.
Nah, like I said, I'm pretty clueless. Everything.
Okay. Well,
I agree there. Like I said, I'm pretty clueless. Just people jacking my shit. Crackheads over here. Crackhead? Okay, I would just call this dude to the stand just so I can say, you told Detective Van Leuven that you thought a crackhead stole something out of your vehicle. When did that occur? And did Detective Van Leuven ask you about anything about these crackheads? Did they ask for a description? Was it, when have you seen crackheads? Where do you see them? Where do they hang out? I just figured it was a crackhead when I heard about this and the things. I'll have one of these though. When I heard about this, I thought it was a crackhead. Just like my truck. And I figured it was a crackhead that broke into my truck. And I figured it was a crackhead with this. I mean, just ridiculous. Van Leuven, hands down, best. Give him a damn award. Okay. Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, you guys just have crackheads roaming. Is that just normal? All right. Now we have the last one here. Again, give our props out here to Connor. We've all been doing a pretty good job sharing our we've been going after the interviews and stuff. And it's nice to see, as everyone's just trying to get to the truth of everything. And I just want to know, because these reports just suck. So we got to listen to the interviews. When I think about Van Leuven, I picture him dreaming about Jennifer Drake and just sipping on Grandpa's syrup.
Sigma Chi
He's got a pop belly and a lot of dough.
in Moscow interviewing Sigma Chi member John.
Sigma Chi member. Now we're allowed to
So,
say Sigma Chi.
the purpose of this interview is to get background information on Ethan, and if you knew the other girls too, I'll ask about that after. But so I guess do you know of any of his family members, his parents, brothers, sisters, anything like that?
So I met
Oh my God. Seriously? We can't hear any of this shit either? Okay, so tonight I'm unleashing one of the Jack Showalter interviews.
How did you know?
There's two big ones, and I'm releasing the one that's the shorter one of the two. So Jack John Showalter, I want him on the
when did you first
show.
meet Ethan?
so I was a recruitment specialist.
I want to know why they tried to frame him. There was no probable cause to go into his apartment ever, and they lied. And I want him to know that. And I want him to know that Truth and Transparency stands with Showalter. And when I come on through the next time to Boise, I would like to personally buy him as many lap dances as he would like and as many shots as he can take. So if you are listening out there and you know Jack John Showalter, let him know that Truth and Transparency wants to send him some dollar bills and some shots.
During 2 years ago, or when they were going through recruitment, so I met them through that. Ethan and Hunter. Basically, they weren't in my recruitment group, but they were in some recruitment group. So basically, we just talked to them, help them kind of around campus, or help them with any questions they may have about houses or anything like that. So I wasn't around during the formal recruitment process to talk to them at the house. I just met them probably at the tower or something, because that's where they stayed during recruitment.
So what was your impression of Ethan?
I mean, I think the whole campus probably had the same impression. Everybody just really wanted him during recruitment. I mean, I think Hunter was the most big person. They were just stud guys. It seemed like they knew what they wanted to do. They were really good friends with each other. It was really nice to see having that strong relationship. But I just thought they were both great guys. They were in it to win it. They would have made great members anywhere. I'm lucky that we got them here. So,
can you describe Ethan's personality? How he came out to others?
He was just willing to talk to anybody, willing to be friends with anybody, willing to really help anybody out.
See, that right there, it's an amazing quality, but you can also get yourself into some shit. Not because of you, but just because you're friendly, and next thing you know, he's talking to somebody that, and you're just like, oh shit, so that's, I could see Ethan striking up a conversation with Molly. And being like, oh girl, it's okay. We've been just drinking. It just took you an hour and 45 minutes to get this out to us. You want a beer? Or you and Molly being like, yeah. What else you got?
Obviously you probably heard that his grades weren't that good the first 2 semesters, but with my position, I'm house manager, so I deal with work week and that stuff. And anytime there was a task that needed to be done, he was the first person to step up. I don't know, it's just crazy to see how much of a rebound that he made, at least school-wise.
Can you think of any times where he ever had conflict with somebody else?
I really couldn't. He was only trying to solve the conflicts and try and mediate. So,
solve what conflicts?
What kind of conflicts, or what conflicts are you talking about that he was trying to mediate?
Whether it's between guys, whether it's just dumb drunk arguments, or just random things. I mean, I could see it if he was at a restaurant and somebody was being disrespected, then I'm sure he'd be the kind of guy to go up and either get one person away or help the situation. So.
But you had no knowledge of him having any conflicts with anybody outside the house or inside the house, as far as a physical altercation or yelling match or anything like that?
I did not know.
What about Xana? How well did you know Xana?
I knew her before I knew Ethan. She was I lived in 2 semesters, so that would have been their freshman year. That would have been Ethan and freshman year. That would have been Xana's sophomore, I think. But she was over there a lot. We were always talking. We always were having fun, partying, I guess. But there was never any issues.
So did Xana have any relationships with anybody that would have been angry that Ethan and Xana were together?
Don't believe so, honestly. I think Xana was just so well loved in this house that everybody saw how those two were together and saw how happy they were. And I don't know, one cool thing I heard was alone their smiles light up the room, but together they light up the world. I don't know, I just thought that was a cool thing I heard.
Where did Ethan spend most of his time?
From what I saw, he was either in which apartment. If he wasn't there, he was at classes. If not, he was at Xana's house. That's pretty much what I know about his schedule. We'd get done with schoolwork, and then we'd play video games, and where he'd play video games is in the apartment, so.
Did he play video games with anybody outside of the house? Anybody back home or anything?
I really don't think so. It was always us. I don't know if it was me, my roommate, or that's pretty much, and other guys in the house. That's really all I saw.
Had you ever been over to his apartment that he had by Phillips or whatever?
Not until I went over with to help move him out, but that was the first time.
Wait a second. Right there. Phillips.
Had you ever been over to his apartment that he had by Phillips or whatever?
Not until I went over with to help move him out, but that was the first time.
Okay.
Went over with
his apartment that he had. Had you ever been over to his apartment that he had by Phillips or whatever?
Not until I went over with to help move him out, but that was the first time.
Okay.
Phillips.
Did you know Kaylee and Maddie?
I knew Maddie a bit. I'd never talked to Kaylee before.
How about
I talked to a little bit when I lived in, but that's about it. I couldn't even recall what I would have said to him.
Had you ever gone over to that house when they had parties?
I have not, no. Which is kind of surprising. I know a lot of people have.
Had you ever heard of any of those girls complaining about anybody? Guys acting inappropriately or somebody following them or stuff like that?
No.
Did you know?
You guys, I don't believe that's a wiggly or wobbly table. Van Leuven has like a pencil thing problem, and he it's just him. It's just him. Van Leuven has weird fetishes.
Just a recent change in personality. Anybody over there? Where did Ethan eat most of the time?
I was not aware of where he would eat, but from what I know, it seems like mostly Taco Bell and fast food places. And when they wouldn't, he'd get frozen stuff. I don't know where he would cook it at all, though.
So when I lived here, we just cooked most of the time. We either fast food or we cooked out of our apartments. Everybody had their own stuff in the fridge.
Yeah.
Nobody had a meal plan that I know of.
Yeah.
At the cafeteria. Is that still the same way, pretty much?
Yeah, I know when I was a meal plan.
Any significant events that you can think of that happened around here in the months preceding this? Anything weird? Anything out of ordinary?
Probably nothing I could think of right now, but every once in a while, like if it's late at night, things will come to me, and I'll try and write those down.
Did he? What kind of other hobbies or activities did he have that you know of?
I know he liked to visit Xana at Mad Greek when she worked there. Going to football games, you know. Intramurals.
Intramurals. Did he play the intramurals?
We did a lot of intramurals together, yeah.
What sports did he play?
We played soccer. We were doing volleyball.
Okay. So just to be clear, the 76 gas station where the Sunset Mart is, okay, it is a brand owned by Phillips 66 Company. That's why he just said Phillips. Okay. So just making everybody aware of that.
Can't remember what other sports, but he was always involved with one of them, with whatever ones were available. So.
Any conflicts with other people, other members of your team, or with people playing on the other teams?
I mean, there was always banter, like it was always trash talking and stuff like that, but nothing I'd ever really...
Nothing got mean?
Stuck out of, no.
Do you ever complain about having problems with anybody else on campus, or professor, or nothing like that?
No.
Did he have any weapons?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so let's talk about drug use here a little bit. And again, we don't care about drug use. There was some drug use that was happening at that house, I can tell you. Mm-hmm. What was your knowledge of that?
If it was something more than weed, to be honest, I wasn't aware of it. I don't know. I stayed pretty far away from as much of that stuff as I could. So.
If you were going to try to source like Adderall or cocaine or something like that, where would you go to do it?
Cocaine. Source it.
To be honest, I know I don't want to like point fingers or anything, but I know there's like a couple guys within that would be, I don't know, I've never texted them or anything. That's just what I've heard. So I hate pointing fingers like that.
A couple guys. There is no way that you're going to keep this information from the public. Get the fuck out of here. No way. These kids were raided because of this shit.
So, I know that there was a lot of that were coming in and out of the house over there. Mm-hmm. Any problems with any of those guys?
The Delts?
We've had some weird interactions with some of those guys for sure. Specifically, I remember one year, there was a bunch of us guys there. We just hear like this banging outside. We were up late till it was like 4:30, and this was probably sophomore year. And we just come out of the door, and there's this guy like standing there, and he just won't leave, and he's just being obnoxious. You could tell he's really hammered, and he's just being obnoxious. And at like half hour later, he finally leaves without any problems or anything. But we're just like, that was weird. But we didn't really think anything of it. So
you think he was a?
Yeah, we know he was a. I looked him up after it.
Do you remember his last name?
I could try and find a picture.
Unbelievable.
He's a really recognizable face.
See how it stops? When he's writing, it stops. He's going like this with his pen. So he has like. He's a fucking idiot. He's going like this with his pencil. And so his eraser is hitting the table.
much
Van Loose.
luck I'll have. Here. It's okay. If you don't see it, you don't see it.
I could definitely keep looking around though.
So he was just here late at night or early in the morning rather, and acting strange, drunk, wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Then he finally left.
Yeah, he finally left. We didn't obviously report it or anything. We have heard noises.
Were the gates closed?
They were open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think of what that name was, shoot it to me.
Okay.
How does he shoot it to you?
Had Ethan been contacted by...
Shoot it to me. Text. Shoot it to me. Like, when did we hear anything about that type of exchange? Here's my name. Here's my number. Here's my email address. Like, did that all happen before? Like, because that's what they do. They talk to you. They say, okay, here, we got to get all this. It's just, I'm going to ask you like basically the same stuff that we just talked about, but I just have to record it. That's how he has conversations with people. You know how I know? Because people told me it during the Moore case. That's how I know. He's garbage. He's trash.
By law enforcement recently.
Not that I'm aware of.
Had there been any recent changes to his schedule?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Who would you say was Ethan's best friend?
We know there was drug use.
My first thought would be to say Xana, but it's so hard to point out one person.
That's all right. I'm going to keep asking you that question because we're going to get to second best friend and third best friend here in a minute.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say
Kyle.
They were very close.
You're not the first person who's answered that way. Who's the second best friend?
That's probably harder.
That's probably harder.
I don't know.
Give me two more names.
Give me two. Just give me two names, motherfucker. I have no idea. Like, when I see him, this is who he's with. I mean, best friends. What a fucking weird way to say that. My best friend.
Did he talk about his past at all? Talk about high school?
Did more than Ethan did.
What should amaze us all is that these interviews were being conducted when there is no suspect. How is this going to find... This is wild. This is called meaningful bullshit. This is not meaningful. And now all of this shit is just redacted. Oh, wait. No, wait. Hold on. I had to press play. Well, let's see how much is redacted here. Out of here. All of this redacted. Rattling.
So you've never anything about money
with Ethan ever stand out to you? Did he ever need money, not have it? Did he ever buy expensive things and you didn't know where the money came from? Anything like that?
Not really, no. I guess, but nothing, never anything that I thought was weird. No.
I'm just going to read this one because honestly it's probably better than what I come up with. Can you describe any instance where Ethan ever discussed or displayed fear, concern, or discomfort about a particular person or situation?
No.
Is there any particular person that you can think of that Ethan didn't get along with?
Again, not that I know of, not that I've ever seen, no.
Did you know if Ethan had a job while he was here?
I was not aware of one, no.
Other than playing video games, was Ethan engaged in any other online activities? You know?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Do you know if Ethan had any classes that met at WSU?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So sometimes we would cross-pollinate with Sigma Chi at WSU. We'd go to their parties. They come to our parties sometimes. You guys still do that?
The only time, I'm not even sure if he was there for it, but we went there once when we played him earlier this year. And so we all just kind of hung out at their house for the tailgate and then went to the game. And some of us stayed there. Some stayed, I think, for a little bit. And then I came back right after the game. So.
Was there an incident? This was from a mom that was here for Parents Weekend. She recalls there being a guy in the house that didn't belong here and he was asked to leave. Do you remember that incident?
Was it this past Parents Weekend?
Yeah.
Trying to think. My mom was here, and we weren't around the house all that much, to be honest. No, I don't remember that happening.
We'll get to that. Okay, were you here for the party on the 12th? The night before?
I was not, no.
Where were you?
I was deer hunting near Weeite.
That is straight up and down country.
This is the first person that he asked about this. Jesus.
That is straight up and down country. We can have a brief discussion about this when we're done here. Okay, where were you when you first heard that this had happened?
We got back at noon on Sunday. We were walking around. We literally...
Who's we?
Me, my roommate, his name's... and then...
You'd both gone deer hunting?
Yeah, and then another guy from the Whites, his name's Arnson.
All six?
Yeah. And then we got back. We literally walked around all the apartments. We put our bags down, walked around all the apartments. Everybody was in great spirits because nobody knew it would happen. And then about 20, 30 minutes later, my buddy came in, and he's like, there was some kind of homicide, and we think Ethan and Xana might be involved. And that's when I was kind of just starstruck, I was like, I didn't think it was real or anything.
So once it set in and you accepted what had happened, what did you think? Who do you think did this? Or what's your explanation that's come to your mind?
I hate to believe it, but I honestly think at this point, I'd like to think it's just some crazy person that I would not like to think it's somebody around us in Moscow and that somebody would be able to do this. But realistically speaking, I think it could have been somebody that talked to one of the girls. And, I don't know. That's just where my mind's running with. So.
What do you mean, somebody that talked to one of the girls? God, family event, Jesus Christ.
Is there anything else about you?
See, when he's writing, it stops. When he's not writing, he like a fucking idiot. His number 2 pencil. Break that thing.
That you know of that we haven't talked about?
No.
I think I kind of alluded to this a little bit before, but any weird circumstances, any car wrecks, any thefts, any break-ins, any odd things that have happened in the last year around here?
One of our members got stuff stolen out of his pickup. He got like some speakers taken out, and I guess no, this was. I remember that situation though, where he got his computer taken. I was just going to bring that up.
So, had speakers stolen out of his pickup?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
This happened. I want to say like probably around midterms this semester.
Was his pickup unlocked or?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Have you seen the car description that law enforcement's put out?
Of the white Porsche?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Know anybody that drives one of those?
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
I'm going to show you a photograph of a knife that's sort of unique in its appearance.
I want to show you a photograph of this knife. Like, what?
You're a hunter. You probably would. You may know exactly what knife this is when I show it to you. If I can bring this stupid photo. Okay. Have you seen one of these? Anybody own one of these?
I actually have one, but it's in Boise. It's actually a homemade one. My grandpa made it for me. So.
But with the leather around the handle like that?
No.
But I'm talking this.
That one. No.
You see anybody that has one of these? Do you know what that is?
Just a K-bar knife, I'm familiar with those.
Okay.
Family events out here showing the murder weapon to people. Hey, and guess what?
Okay, about the other girls, did they come here and hang out a lot? Like,
I know Xana and Maddie did. I'm not sure about Kayleen, to be honest. I never really had that many interactions with her.
Maddie have any problems with guys?
I know she was dating
Jake.
I know she decently, but I saw her kiss a couple guys a couple times. But
who did you see her kiss?
Does my name stay anonymous for this?
Well, I'm certainly not going to go there and say
You said
that you did this.
I was going to say. And I don't know if I kissed her or not, but I know they were kind of dancing together and stuff. So
they were kind of dancing together. What? What? Is my name going to stay anonymous? What the fuck are you talking? What do you think you're talking to the cops? Like, it's a murder investigation and you care about some kissing shit? Unbelievable. Like, where people's brains are. Unbelievable. Like, what do you think? Jake's going to be mad? What the fuck? Do you see the only thing that they care about is not throwing each other under the bus? Is my name going to stay out of it? I mean, they just kissed. Like, why would you just be like, no, I don't even know. No, like, that shit, is my name going to stay? I'm fucking... what do you... Once you hear this, you guys, you cannot then say to yourself, yep, they're telling us the truth about all this other shit. If they were so worried about goddamn kiss. Okay? Kiss my tits, man. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. They were like dancing at a Pacific High party. Like, oh my God. Fuck out of here. So stupid. Does Moscow, like, do these people, like, in Idaho, do they have any life experiences? People go dancing all the time. It doesn't matter if I dance with somebody. Like, what do you mean? I would tell my boyfriend, well, then learn how to fucking dance, and I won't dance with that person. Like, learn how to dance. I mean, what? Unbelievable. God, what a bunch of fucking idiots.
All right. Is there anything else we haven't talked about that you think we need to talk about? Your gifts.
Does my name stay anonymous for this?
Well, I'm certainly not going to go there and say
you said
that you did this.
I was going to say.
I'm certainly not going to tell them that you told us.
I don't know if no one kissed her.
A girl is dead. 4 people are dead, and people care about people kissing. Van Leuven, just something else, man. Like, this kid was so scared to say that. Thank you so much. Right here, 10 memberships turning everybody green. Black Cat and Jam. Karen, where's my bell? You can ring my Karen. These people in Idaho need to get with it. Cowbell, more cowbell. Family event. I'm gonna go tell him. I'm not gonna go be like, hey, this guy told me that you were kissing some chick. Yeah, you are, family event.
Kind of dancing together and stuff. So.
Are they SIGs?
Yeah.
Are they SIGs? Are they SIGs? Yep. And don't you the next question be like, well, how recently was this?
All right. Is there anything else we haven't talked about that you think we need to talk about? Anything else that you know that's, or you guess, or you think, or anything that's been nagging at you, or somebody say something that you thought was odd?
No. I mean, I haven't been listening to, like, the online stuff, and I'm taking the position, like, let you guys do your job. And
yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop the interview at 5:50.
Awesome. Wow. I don't even know what to say. What do you guys think? More cowbell. Yeah. Thank you so much, Karen. Bring around the Rosie. Let's talk about who kissed who and who danced. So she was twerking on him. We'll stop playing that gangster rap. I mean, how do you dance to country music? Play country music. You just go like this. I don't know. Like, what do you... Jesus. All right, so who did she kiss? It's more than one person. She could have been possibly dancing with somebody. And this guy doesn't even know anything. Did you really saw her kiss him? Like, who? And then are you going to go ask these guys, hey, I heard you were kissing Maddie. What? No. Kissing? I don't even remember. Kiss? I kissed somebody? Yeah, let me tell you something. I murdered her because I wanted to kiss her. Fucking idiots. So stupid. God. Dumbasses. Oh, fuck. Do you see why the Brian Drake case has not been solved? Because Van Leuven is the lead detective. It's an open and active investigation. The Brian Drake case. I don't even know what to say. Let's hear the FBI interviews versus like the Idaho State Police. And then you just have to ask yourself, like, this is why we can't pay you guys more money. Because of this shit. Well, we've been at it here for 3 hours, guys. They want to know about some drugs and where you could buy Adderall and where you could buy cocaine. Where can you buy Adderall and where can you buy cocaine? And he's like, you want me to, I don't really feel comfortable pointing the finger, but he just does. But he doesn't say, like, you're not going to tell on me, right? But here for this kiss, wait, you're not going to go tell them, right? Like, he didn't care about the Adderall and the cocaine. Like, goddamn, kissing somebody? I don't know. That's just, wow. All right, thanks again, guys, for joining us. We are going to be live tonight tonight's one of the big. I know 3 hours just flies by over here. One of probably the biggest interviews that we're going to be listening to is well, I got both of them. They're still double checking the one, so I'm able to release one of the two of the Jack Showalter interviews. I really want Jack Showalter to be on the show though, to basically tell Moscow and Idaho State Police what he thinks of them, and that they were. I just want to know if he feels like that they did not have probable cause to go into his apartment, and did he even know that? Did you read any of these documents to see like how they basically made shit up to go into your apartment? How do you feel about that? But we're going to introduce the one of the two tonight at 9 or 9:30. I can't remember. I think I've already set the link up. And then tomorrow night we'll be discussing it. Saturday, I'm going to be on a panel. Is Mike still in here? I'm going to be promoting that the next 2 days for Saturday with Idaho4. I forget who's. I think I'm streaming it here. I can't remember, but we're with the Verdict Room and a Bronx True Crime, Dago, Mike, who else? Kim. I think that's everybody. So thank you guys for being here, and I will see you back here tonight. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and come with an appetite to hear Showalter for the first time. We'll see you then. Till next time. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Bella. Ciao.